Hi everybody, it's Mark here. I'm back with my Who Wore It Best series, part 2. We're going to look at the minor threes today, and we're going to compare all the threes in the Rider-Waite to the Thoth deck, and we'll be using the original Golden Dawn Hermetic titles listed on the Hermetic deck as sort of a guideline as to what the cards were supposed to be portraying, the energy they were supposed to be getting across. And so let's just get right into it. So the very first card is the Three of Wands, which is the Lord of Established Strength. And the Rider-Waite is one of my favorite Rider-Waite cards, especially in terms of coloration. I love the golden sky, the golden sea. The decan attribution is the sun in the Aries decan, so that's why there's so much sun, I imagine, that Pamela put in the picture for that reason. And he does look like the Lord of Established Strength. These may be his ships coming in or going out. It may be just the "your ship is coming in" phrase that is depicting. But, you know, he's on a mountaintop, and he looks like he's in good position. Interesting clothing. I don't know if that's rich person's clothing or what. It's kind of a mishmash. But imagine he's doing well. So yes, we can see clearly the Lord of Established Strength here. In the Thoth, it's a not completely different vibe. Certainly a more simplified picture. It's meant to show springtime. That's when this decan occurs. That's why the sun is in Aries. It's the very first decan in the decan wheel of the year, and it's springtime, so we have flowers bursting into bloom. But we have virtue, so the established strength phrase has completely been taken out, and you have to give it a little bit of thought. Your virtues are your established strengths, perhaps. You know, over time you've developed them, they've become your strength. Virtue is certainly a moral strength, but yeah, there's a bit of a stretch. I do have to say though that when I'm doing tarot readings, I find this word virtue very, very helpful, and adding an extra tool to the 78 card deck, where this one doesn't really add that much extra. And in fact, we all know that everyone who's beginning to read tarot gets this and the Two of Wands confused, because they're very similar. Kind of, it's a man and sort of his domain, or looking out over an expanse that he probably owns or is engaged with in some way. So it kind of blends the two and the three, and this one with the word virtue and a completely different depiction really stands alone. And you know, we live in a time of virtue signalers, and I can see that coming up in a reading. And I also like the encouragement of doing the right thing to come up in a reading. So I really, really like the usefulness of this card, but I much prefer the visual of this card. I just find that sort of golden hue, and dare I say golden dawn. Maybe that was a nod to the actual cult group that Pamela was in briefly. But I have to say, Who Wore It Best? This might be a little too simplistic, though lovely. I'm going to give it to the RWS. So there you go. One for the RWS. Okay, now we're going to move on to the Three of Cups. And the Three of Cups is the Lord of Abundance. So that is easily seen in this card. There's abundance to drink, abundance of fellowship, abundance of crops. So she certainly has really leaned into the meaning of the card. But in the Thoth, especially in this new remastered images version, I really love this card. This card in Thoth kind of left me, not really that big a deal, not much of an impact. But once they got the colorization correct, I can feel the hot, hazy, humid day that's going on in this card, and how refreshing this abundance, and we do have the word abundance here, no sort of flip from strength to virtue. With this card, abundance of water, and beyond that, these are pomegranate seeds, so there's an abundance of seeds in any pomegranate. So there's certainly a lot of nourishment going on here, and flowing emotions because it's cups. So I really, really like the feeling I get off that. I get obviously the feeling of celebration here more, but then I feel it's limited. I think it's a great card for obviously sisterhood, but this is the Lord of Abundance. It's not Lord of Abundance. Females need only apply. So here it could be any party, any celebration, male, mixed gender, it doesn't matter. And here your brain just goes to my girlfriends, and it's hard to go anywhere else. But for different reasons, I like them both. So I'm going to call this one a tie for different reasons. Okay, so next we come to the Three of Swords. And the Three of Swords is the Lord of Sorrow, so that's pretty straightforward there. And I really don't like this card in the RWS. Now I know this is probably the most popular tattoo out there, and I like it as a tattoo, but not as a tarot card, because I think out of her entire deck, this is the flattest, most, I don't even get so much the sorrow or the piercing of the heart. It just looks like a Valentine's card gone bad, or the worst Valentine's card you could ever get. But it's just, there's some rain clouds and this kind of non-realistic heart, and I don't know, it's just flat for what it's trying to tell me or get across. But here in the Thoth, instead of a heart being pierced, it's just a flower being depetaled, which is a lot less hard to take. And I like the idea of we have two sort of paired swords here, and this one large sword sort of coming in between them. Sometimes this is a third party breakup kind of card, and we don't get that so much from this one. They're all sort of equal. And I just like the darkness, the depression that may, sink in due to this separation. And it's also easier for me to get a more positive spin on this card because it is Saturn in Libra, and Saturn's exalted in Libra. So it's not as bad as it seems. Again, we have sorrow on the card, just as in the Hermetic. But to me, this is often just a hard decision. We were stuck at the Two of Swords in a stalemate, and this is a hard decision that has to be made. This could be a marriage contract, say goodbye to your bachelorhood. That was a decision. It's making a contract between two people. That's very Saturn in Libra. As I say, that's the Decan. And it's kind of got also I often use it as a kill your darlings card, because threes are about creativity, and so is Binah, which is the sphere on the Tree of Life that is attributed to the threes. And this is like editing. You love the art or the novel or whatever it is you're creating, but you know that you have to cut some of the what you may consider the best bits, but they're holding the entire process back, so they have to be taken out. So as you can see how much I can read just from this card, as shown here, nope, just kind of doesn't do much for me. All right, so now we come to the Three of Pentacles, which is the Lord of Material Work. And we definitely see some work going on here in this card with architects or masonry, brick builders. Not sure what his job is. He's carving something, chiseling something. This could be the architect with the blueprint. I don't know what this costume person is supposed to be. I do notice the colors are the same on the bench, so maybe they are supporting the project. Literally, I've seen this card for decades, and that's the first time I actually saw the color connection there. And by the way, this is the original 1971, I think it is, version of the deck, the first one that came out, so some of these things may be slightly changed in the current version, I don't know. So yeah, there's a work project here, and it seems to be on a church like front, and of course, yes, Lord of Material Work. Okay, fine, but he seems to be doing the work, and they seem to be doing just the observing or the commenting or the critiquing. They may have had a part in the planning, but I don't get the collaboration of the three so much here. As I say, it feels like it's more him doing the actual work with these other people sort of just on looking. Here we have the Sea of Binah again, which we saw in this three. And out of it, these Mars in Capricorn. Mars is exalted in Capricorn. That is great. Works can be done. You can really set a goal and really build something with Capricorn and Mars together. It's laser focused. The red wheels are the Mars energy, and it's coming together to build a great pyramid here. And just the way the wheels are placed, you do get more of a collaborative effort than you do here, the way they're placed. And beyond that, we have Mercury and sulfur and salt indicated on the wheels, and those are the three alchemical elements that are necessary to come together to create gold or whatever it is you're trying to create in your alchemical lab. And I really see the pyramid as a great achievement, one that's still a bit of a mystery of how do they do it. And this one's just a little too connected to Christianity directly and something religious. And so I would say I prefer this one. There's just something a little clunky about the setup with this particular one. But it's not bad. I mean, it's pretty good. I do see the three as someone who's very invested in their project, that it's not just a grunt job, that's more of an 8 of discs thing, that they are really something almost holy, I guess, about their purpose, or spiritual about their purpose. So I guess that's why there's a church in the one. So just to review, I gave the RWS the win on the Three of Wands. I think I said this was a tie, but for completely different reasons. Total win for the Thoth on this one. And just squeaked out a win for the Thoth on this one. So there you go. I'll be back with the 4s in a few weeks, and I'll see you then, hopefully. Bye for now.